Welcome to Salon Conversations. This is continuing on in the book, Your Salon Retail. Best book ever. Hello. I know I say that all the time, but retail is a measure of people's action, confidence, connection to clients. It's just everything. And I'm never going to stop believing that, because it really changed my business when I decided that I was not going to let my clients walk out with everything that they needed, and that included home care. So it's a big one. I feel people struggle with it more than they probably need to, and that's because there's a lot of story in your head. So today there's 4 things to try in your salon right now. The first shift is to focus on the client's problems, not on your lack of desire to do the work, not on your belief that they do or don't have money, or you're uncomfortable. It's not actually about you, it's about them. And if you really care about your clients, you'll make sure they've got everything. It's pretty simple. The moisture triangle, I've been teaching that for years, and I'm fascinated at how difficult it is for people to just do as they're told. Just do it. Just ask 3 questions. What do you use in the shower on your hair? What do you use when you get out? And what treatments have you had when you come into a salon? And the same with beauty. How do you cleanse your skin? What do you use? What do you use when you finish cleansing? Moisturizer, sunscreen, A, B, C, any of the letters of the alphabet. And what treatments have you had done when you come into a salon? It just tells you so much. It's like everything. So the moisture triangle is a beast of a thing if you just shut up and listen. And I probably shouldn't say that, but it's really frustrating at times, because I just think, just do it. Just do the work. Choose your hard. Yes, it's hard to learn new skills, but it's hard to come into a salon that isn't booked out week after week. And the reason it isn't booked out is because maybe your consultation isn't good. Maybe your girls are just not doing what they're meant to do. And so choose your hard. But if you learn the skills you need to learn, that horrible hard will go away, and then you'll get yourself a better problem, which is, I think we need another brand because we're selling this and we could use that. And it's just wonderful. So you don't get grey hair without learning some things along the way. I'm perplexed at the amount of people are doing a lot of jobs a lot of the time. And I just think, just pick one, just hone in on something and be the energy you want the girls in your business to be. Be excited, be motivational, be inspiring. Then people will follow you. But if you're just boring as fuck, nobody's going to be interested in what you have to say. So you have to do it with honesty, with clarity, and just do it with joy. I know that we lose our way along the way, but so what? Get over yourself. Get yourself dusted down, stand back up and have another go, and just be what you want them to be. Be forever learning. Your heart is open and you're ready to accept and learn, and you're happy to take feedback, and it's not criticism, it's feedback. There's a difference. So you have to be that. So look at where you're not doing it, and then you'll find the answer. So a bit of a smack, wasn't it? Sometimes you need it. That's okay. The third point is to buy what you sell. Like if you don't have the services done that you sell, then how would you know what it feels like? If you don't use the products that you sell, then how would you be able to recommend them? Now, I know you can't use a product that isn't suitable for you. So if you've got curly hair, then you would use products for curly hair. You're not going to use products for straight hair or over bleached hair. You have to use what you use, and the same with skin. But you need to use them and understand them. So get involved, roll your sleeves up and get involved. It's game-changing. What it's like to be a patient. It's fascinating. I think the film with Robin Williams, Patch Adams, he was a doctor and he got sick and he realised what it was like to be a patient. So it's a really interesting switch. But if you're not using all of the products and understand them, then it's a bit like you don't fit. It's like I say, a vegetarian in a butcher shop. They don't work in butcher shops. They feel so strongly about not eating meat is they can't do it, right? So if you really feel strongly and passionate about the products if you work them, then share that. Get over your limiting belief of, oh, people don't have money and whatever. No, people find money for the things that they want to spend their money on. It's pretty simple. We all find money for the things we want to spend our money on. And when we don't want to spend our money, we say we can't afford it. And what you're really saying is, I don't see the value. I can't see the value in that. That's why you don't want it. So very interesting. Number 4, ignore the negative chatter. Everybody has 3 people over there that are saying, you can't do that. What are you doing? She's only going to say no. She never bought it before. Why would she buy it now? And I think in the film Beautiful Minds, there's my phone going off. In the film Beautiful Mind with Russell Crowe, he is a man, I think John Nash is who he's playing, and he has these 3 voices in his head. And we all have voices, maybe not voices, but we all have an inner critic that tells us we can't do things. But just acknowledge that they're there, but you're not going to act on it. We all have somebody or something inside us that says, I don't know if you should do that. Don't think that's a very good idea. You think, it's fine, I've got it. You just stay over there and I'm going to do it. So recognize the voices and just do it anyway. That would be my advice. And you'll be shocked that the thought is the scary part. The action is actually not the scary part. It's the thinking about it and perhaps failing is the scary part. So just ignore the negative chatter and the 3 people on the sideline telling you can't. I'd replace them with 3 people that telling you they can. And let go of they can't because. They can't do this because they can't. No, you don't know. Just do your job. Do it consistently, do it every time. Have a process that you follow. Before we get started, there's 3 questions I want to ask you today so that I can best help you to get you the skin results. They're pretty quick, so I won't interrupt it. I'll just go bang, bang, bang. First one, what do you cleanse your skin with? Second one, what do you put on after you cleanse your skin on your face? And the third one is, what heavy-duty beauty treatments have you had when you've been in a clinic or a salon? Over to you. It's that quick, right? Because you're going to find out things. If a person's buying something from the supermarket, like a big conglomerate brand, then that gives you an insight that she doesn't have much knowledge. Maybe not. Maybe she has a lot of knowledge, but at the moment she's financially strapped. I don't know. Find out. And then if she thinks that having Botox is a skin treatment, then you understand that she doesn't know what you know. It's not a skin treatment, right? So these are how we get to the bottom of what's really going on. If you don't ask that, it seems silly. How could you help someone? It'd be like going into the doctor's and he said, I'm going to give you this and that. And you think, you didn't ask me what I'm here for. You didn't ask me what I want. You didn't ask me what I'm using on my warts or my hemorrhoids or whatever. It just doesn't make sense. He said, I've got hemorrhoids, and he says, use this. And you think, I'm already using that. What are you using now? Nothing. Okay, good. There's a lot of things you can do. Then we're going to find out why you have them in the first place. So it's just layers and layers. And I just always go back to, it's not about me. It's about them. It's about the client. It's about what they need. It's not about you. So just get over yourself and do your job every single time. It's just exciting. When you get to this stage where you just have this system and you just follow it, you don't, I say to them, you can follow a system, because you would pick up the mirror and you'd say, show me what you like about your brows. You can do it. Everybody does it. You don't start cutting someone's hair or without asking the question. So you have a system. You just need to attach something else to the system. So, you wouldn't sit down and say, I think I'll cut your hair like this today. You wouldn't do that. You'd say, talk to me. Tell me about your hair. And some people say, what are we doing today? And I think, oh my God, have a look in the book. It says what you're doing. So you need to find out, there's open questions and closed questions that you need to address what's booked in. Is this what the person actually needs? Because quite often it's not. So to me, that's a bit of a guide. And then get to know what the client's outcome desired outcome would be. That's where I'd start. The same as, what do you use? What do you use at the moment? And then I can help you. So it's really cool. Just keep going. Nobody gets it first time. You just got to believe in yourself. If I can do it, like I don't know how long I'd had my salon before I learnt to do this. Too long anyway. You're very capable. I believe in you. So if you don't believe in yourself and your ability, borrow mine. Borrow my belief until you find yours. It's probably in the second drawer. You have a good day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.
Chapter 15. 4 things to try in your salon right now. Try number 1. Try it now. Focus on the client's real problem. They know they have problems, but most don't realize they have underlying problems. To get to the real or the underlying problem, you need to find out more. You do this by asking better questions. Clients often don't know what they don't know. Before you can give them a lasting solution, you need to identify what they do know and what they don't know. Then you close the gap. You might have to scratch around a bit like a farmyard chook, over here, over there, and back over here, and a little bit over there. One scratch doesn't usually unearth what you're looking for. If you've ever had the pleasure of sitting and watching chooks when they're let out of their cage, you'll get what I mean. They're so busy scratching and looking around, scratching and looking around, scratching and looking around until they find what they're looking for. One scratch or one question won't get you the results you need. It's the same in the salon. It's the same when we're in the salon looking after clients. One scratch is never enough. If you have clients who don't accept your retail advice and take products home with them, then you need to scratch around a little more. People take Panadol all the time, right? They don't take it because they have a paracetamol deficiency. No, that's silly. They take it to mask another problem. Clients often tie up their hair. Why? Because they can't manage it when it's out. Why? Because it's dry. Why is it dry? Because it's in terrible condition. Can you fix that with a product? Of course you can. Some people wear foundation like it's icing on a cake. Why? Because they don't like their natural skin. Why? Because they have pimples and blemishes. Why? Because they're not aware of a better skincare plan. Why? Because they haven't had the right therapist scratching around for better solutions. Can you solve this with a product? You bet you can. Most people don't realize you can fix most of their problems with product. And there are many of you standing behind your salon chair or treatment bed who haven't worked that out either. Think about it. It's the too much story. Too thin, too heavy, too oily, too nothing, too fly away, too frizzy. And in skin, it's too oily, too dry, too many breakouts, too many sunspots, too many lines. Most things can be fixed with the right product. This is how I want you to start every conversation with your client from this day on. If I could solve your biggest problem today, what would that be? That one question will start you on a journey of scratching around like a farmyard chook. Never forget you need more than one scratch to find the worm. Number 2, try it now. Explain the moisture triangle to your clients. If you're serious about the results your clients are getting, you need to make it easy for them to understand. There are 3 fundamental things you need to check on when it comes to moisture for both hair care and skin care. Let's start with hair. Step 1. Check what your client uses when they wash their hair. Is it quality shampoo and conditioner? Step 2. What about leave-in treatments? Do they use a heat protector or a leave-in moisturizer? Are they using it every wash? Is it the right one for their hair? Step 3. Do they have a salon strength treatment? There are many choices. From the spa types that come with a massage and a hot towel to the Plex group, those types, and also the smoothing types, the keratin ones as well. These are game changers, and you need to educate your clients around these exciting options that I call the big guns of hair. Finally, explain to your client that if they want amazing hair, like they see in the magazines, they need to do all 3 points of the triangle, and frequently. Unless you're offering all 3, you aren't giving your clients what they need, and you won't ever optimize results. I'm a bit over explaining this to random people I meet who admire my curls and then go on to tell me that their hair is curly too, but they can't manage it, so they just tie it up every day. They haven't had the right information. Curls need to be in top condition or you have a frizzy mess. I tell them to put their hand in their pocket and invest in all 3 corners of the moisture triangle. I've even drawn it on a serviette in a cafe and told a girl to go back to their so-called fabulous hairdresser and tell her this is what you need. All the while I'm thinking, imagine how fabulous she will be when she gets the moisture right. Oh my God. Now let's look at the beauty clients. Step 1, the daily cleanser and moisturizer is the first place you check. Are they using the best products for their skin? Step 2, next step is the alphabet test. All those lovely vitamins and the serums on the market. The special formula that prep your skin for the next level of care. And of course, eye creams and skin exfoliants too. Step 3, then it's the same as the in-salon treatments for a hair salon. It's the in-salon treatments for a beauty salon. Anything from microdermabrasions, laser, LED to Fraxel, skin needling, and all of the amazing peels. Once again, the big guns. They're the ones I love. The moisture triangle is what everybody needs if they're serious about the results. Your clients are simply missing out if they don't understand their options. It's your job to know your stuff and to share that knowledge with them. Number 3, try it now. Buy what you sell. It's disappointing that salon staff often haven't experienced the services or used the products they recommend. How the hell can you recommend something you haven't experienced firsthand? I once worked with a skincare clinic where the girls had never had the needling. Guess what? No one was recommending it either. There's your problem right there. We had a big chat and discovered it was down to equal parts time challenge and equal parts care factor. Or lack of, actually. I took that to mean they didn't care enough to make the time. We made it mandatory that every team member was to experience every treatment in business hours and at no cost to them. In return, they'd recommend the services like there was no tomorrow. We lost one team member who decided during the process that it wasn't the right place for her and she moved on. Fair enough. The rest of the team blossomed like you wouldn't believe. From then on, every time I visited the clinic, someone had a red peeling face or eyebrows recovering from a tattoo. It was the best thing I ever did. The girls were living proofs that the treatments worked. They were walking examples of the before, the during, and the after. Experiencing every service and every product they sold was a game changer. They went from selling no after laser balm to having every client using it. The results for the clients and the business were 100-fold better than before. Number 4, try it now. Ignore the negative chatter in your head about price. One of our biggest blocks we have around selling products to clients is the price. Because we source products at cost, we see full price as expensive. We also judge people on what they say, what they wear, and whether we think they have the money or not to spend. Instead, we should just get on with doing our jobs. You'd be surprised who has the money to spend. Often it's not who you think. I remember doing a training night in a big team of both hair and beauty girls. These girls had a serious problem with rounding the price down. Just make it 40, that type of thing, when it was meant to be 46. In small communities, it can be even more challenging to charge full price. Everyone's a friend or a relative. We worked hard together on this mindset and thankfully stopped the behaviour. My next challenge was to introduce a solid system for retail, a one-in, all-in pact. Together, we came up with a one-in, all-in pact. We agreed to follow it no matter what came our way. It was designed to eliminate the "I don't think she'll buy a product" chatter in the team members' heads. My aim was for them to treat the clients equally. In other words, just do your job without the judgment. I asked them to stick to the system that we'd agreed to and the one that we'd put in place the night before together as a team. They all said they'd do it my way, which was really our way, for 1 week, and then they'd report back to me. I agreed, that was fair, and we left the meeting. The next morning, Marie, the salon owner, looked at her first booking and thought, "Shit, it's Betty." Betty was a little old nana who had a chin wax and an eyebrow wax. Nothing more, nothing less. She had the exact same treatment every 4th Wednesday at 9 a.m. Betty was like clockwork. Marie thought, a deal's a deal, and I'm going to do this. Every time, every client, "Yep, I can do this. I will do this." And off she went. Marie took 3 products into the beauty room. That was a deal, to think ahead and make suggestions around solving problems. Marie was certain Betty would only have her 2 usual areas waxed, and that would be it. She was going to be a tough one. You know those nana purses with the clasp in the middle? Betty always had the correct money folded up on the right-hand side of her little nana purse. Marie did the wax and then she said, "If you like, Betty, I can give you a little express makeover and cover up your redness from the wax. It'll only take a few minutes. Do you have the time to spare?" So she did a foundation powder, a blush and a mascara. Marie took the handheld mirror and she showed Betty. Betty thanked Marie and added, "I'd all but given up on myself pretty much, Marie. I haven't worked for years now and I'm so out of touch. I don't even know where to start anymore. What did you do? It looks so fresh and it doesn't look like I'm wearing makeup. You're so clever, Marie. Do you think I could do this myself?" "Absolutely. If you have trouble, you just come in. Any of the girls can give you a lesson." "That was very thoughtful of you, Marie, to take the time with me. How much are they?" So Marie left the room to find out, and by memory it came to about $175. Betty said, "Yes, that's fine, Marie, as long as they're good quality." Marie assured her that they were good quality. Betty flicked the other side of the nana purse open, and there was a wad of rolled up 50s, or pineapples as I like to call them. Marie could not get to the phone quick enough to tell me what had just happened. You see, Marie had been judging Betty mostly because she always had the money ready. That just wasn't fair. Marie and her team followed the new system. At times they got off track, yes, but for the most part they just did their job and did it without that negative chatter in their head. So much nicer for everyone. Sure, the Betty thing could have gone either way. She could have easily have said, "I'm fine, thanks anyway." And if that was that worst that happens, I reckon we could all cope with that just fine. Kick ass, Kickstarter. Tomorrow, ask every client you look after, "If I could solve your biggest problem for you today, what would that be?" Just stand back, listen, and watch the conversation unfold.